Today on Rappler. 11 Filipinos injured in a truck explosion in Saudi Arabia are in stable condition. Superstorm Sandy triggers an oil spill off New York. And Barack Obama and Mitt Romney gear up for the final stretch of their presidential campaigns. Hello, I'm Maria Ressa. Welcome to Rappler, your social news network. Philippine Ambassador to Saudi Arabia Azzedine Tago says 11 Filipinos injured in a truck explosion are now in stable condition. A gas tanker truck exploded in Saudi Arabia's capital Riyadh Thursday, killing 22, including one Filipino, and injuring 111 people. Tago says the dead Filipino was with his brother-in-law when the incident happened. The Saudi government says the incident is not related to terrorism. Civil defense spokesman in Riyadh, Mohammed Al-Hamadi, says the explosion took place after gas leaked from the tank of the truck. Oil company Shell says Superstorm Sandy triggered an oil spill in waters off New York City. The U.S. Coast Guard estimates 300,000 gallons of diesel fuel spilled. Shell says at least 2 diesel storage tanks in New Jersey were damaged. Sandy left a trail of destruction in the U.S. East Coast, with economists estimating the cost of damage at about $50 billion. In New York, infrastructure damage in Lower Manhattan and the cost of 2 days of market blackouts continue to mount. 30 minutes from Cotabato City in the southern Philippines, Darapanan is the main camp of the Moro Islamic Liberation Front. With the signing of the peace framework, MILF combatants and civilians there face great change ahead. This report from Paterno Esmaquel.
A Davao taxi driver who introduces himself as Ali is a former soldier of the Moro Islamic Liberation Front. The 38-year-old left the rebel group's Maguindanao home base 4 years ago.
Nakakapagod tsaka nakakasawa na rin yung gira eh. Kasi walang nangyayari. Yung ikaw, nagugutom ka. Lahat takot, kaba. Dahil di mo alam kung mabubuhay ka pa o hindi na. Tapos malalaman mo yung mga nag-utos sa'yo, nasa aircon, may sasakyan, magaganda.
But he sees a spark of hope in the initial peace agreement between the MILF and the Philippine government. The deal aims for an end to the Muslim rebellion, as well as a vibrant economy that will hopefully lead to peace.
Maganda yung ginawa ng gobyerno natin yan. Baga, gumawa ng paraan to si Noy na makuan yung gulo ba, magawa niya ng paraan na matigil. Kasi para kung ano, makabalik na rin kami doon sa mga lupa namin.
Hope also fills the air in Ali's native Maguindanao. While MILF troops continue to march with their arms in Camp Darapanan, the peace deal aims to make this place a mostly gunless community. MILF officials, after all, say the 20-hectare camp is not strictly a military facility. They say the core of Camp Darapanan is its over 1,000 civilians. Locals speak to Rappler but refuse to be named. A store owner says life is generally peaceful, except for occasional harassment outside their community. This is the other side of Camp Darapanan. They have stores, schools, mosques, the life of an ordinary Filipino. But this is their only wish, for their life outside the camp to be as peaceful. MILF Chief Murad Ibrahim, however, sees better days ahead. He says people will reap the benefits of a final peace deal with the Philippine government, which he hopes will be signed by 2016.
What is important is it will immediately affect the social condition, social and economic condition of the people in area, including our fighters. So we will be focusing more on livelihood programs, social and social basic necessities, and then on health and education.
But Murad admits this will not be easy. In November, the MILF and the government returned to negotiations in Kuala Lumpur to tackle more contentious issues like the sharing of power and wealth. Ali says he lives a comfortable life in Davao, but he keeps an eye on the future Muslim region.
Kahit paano, nandun yung kabuhayan namin, lupa namin, hayop namin, nandoon. May ibang mga kamag-anak ko na andun. Na, siyempre, kumbaga, doon ka na rin lumaki.
For now, people like Ali will have to wait for a truly peaceful region they can call home. Paterno Esmaquel, Rappler, Maguindanao.
The streets of Manila are relatively quiet today. Rappler's editor-at-large, Marites Vitong, talks about remembering loved ones as the Philippines observes All Souls Day. Here's her video blog.
Death has a way of surprising us. It comes most unexpected, slithering into our ordered lives. But every year during this time, we come together to remember death. Our thoughts go to our dear departed ones. We trek to cemeteries, columbaries, churches, or simply stay home where the remains of our loved ones are nestled in urns. Perhaps All Souls Day, which is seriously observed in our country, is a way of coming to terms with the end of life, with this deep tunnel of the unknown. It is a day for the living to fulfill family duty, to embrace in our prayers those who have gone ahead of us. Really, it is hard to know the depths of one's grief, of someone who has lost a best friend, a spouse, partner, child, sibling, or parent. My father died many, many years ago, and today this moment seems to be a blur of hospital visits, days and nights of prayer, and then the final procession. But this time, like others, I try to sharpen the focus of my memory lens and remember. After all, death is our inevitable destination.
Entertainment company Viva Communications is looking to revitalize theater in the Philippines through a partnership with a 13-year-old production company called Atlantis. Catherine Visconti reports.
Viva Communications and Atlantis Productions join forces to form a powerhouse theater company. Vic Del Rosario's 30-year-old Viva represents stars like Sharon Cuneta, Casey Concepcion, and Ann Curtis, and hopes to bring star power to the partnership. Bobby Garcia, a Broadway director who opens a play on the West End next year, is founder of 13-year-old Atlantis, which brings in the theater know-how.
Star Power, we do it all the time, and I'm not gonna lie that Star Power gets media mileage, it gets a lot of things, but you have to still cast the right people and the right stars.
The strategy is to attract more Filipinos who can afford theater with more shows, more variety, and more top talent. Garcia won't name the stars, but says he's confident about their lineup of Broadway shows. The 2013 season kicks off with The Full Monty in April, the story of 6 down-on-their-luck men who overcome their fears and form a male strip act.
But sometimes a man's worth is really being brave enough to do what you need to do for the people that you love.
In June, the Disney tale of love and family Tarzan swings to the stage. In November comes the launch of The Addams Family, a musical based on the popular cartoon and TV Family. Atlantis will also showcase 3 musicals of its own in 2013, including the horror musical Carrie, based on the Stephen King novel. Piaf, based on the life of French singer and cultural icon Edith Piaf, will show in March.
They were street circus players. That's where they started out, in the streets. So I think the story of someone who came from the streets and really made it to international fame is something that attracts a lot of people.
Atlantis is also bringing back the sold-out smash Rock of Ages.
They're gonna sing along, they're gonna laugh, and I'm just gonna tell you that when they come out of the theater, they're gonna feel really good.
By offering something for everyone, Viva Atlantis Theatricals hopes to make Manila the theater destination for Asia. Catherine Visconti, Rappler, Manila.
President Barack Obama and Republican rival Mitt Romney hit the campaign trail again Thursday after canceling schedules because of Superstorm Sandy. Obama goes through 4 vital battleground states a day after touring New Jersey's coastline, which bore the brunt of the storm. Romney makes 3 stops in battleground Virginia, where he seeks to refocus the race on his strongest argument, the sluggish economy. On Thursday, Obama earns the endorsement of New York Mayor Michael Bloomberg, an ex-Republican. Bloomberg says the president's efforts on climate change and his command during the storm crisis outweighed his failure on the economy. London-based newspaper The Economist also says it is backing Obama. President Benigno Aquino hopes to attract more European investments when he leaves Monday to attend the 9th Asia-Europe meeting, or ASEM, in Vientiane, Laos. This is despite an ongoing debt crisis in the Eurozone with no clear end in sight. The DFA says the president wants to reaffirm Europe as a major investor and is keen on exploring investments from Russia, Finland, and Spain. Europe is the Philippines' 3rd largest trade partner after North America and Asia. In 2011, bilateral trade with Europe amounted to $13 billion, while investments from the EU reached over $803 million. But the continuing debt crisis in the Eurozone, the cost of much criticized austerity measures in countries like Greece and Spain, will cast a shadow over ASEM. Analysts say a cash-strapped Europe is courting resource-rich Asia to help calm the crisis and restore confidence in the Eurozone. Well, let's now look at Rappler's Wrap for today, a list of the 10 most important events around the world you shouldn't miss. At number 7, the Pentagon lets go of its exclusive contract with BlackBerry maker Research in Motion and invites rival companies like Apple to offer smartphones to its vast workforce. This comes days after the U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement Agency said it was dropping the BlackBerry device in favor of Apple's iPhone. At number 9, an annual bonfire celebration in Britain sparks controversy over plans by British town Edenbridge to burn the effigy of disgraced cyclist Lance Armstrong. CNN says the town plans to burn an Armstrong effigy and decorate it with references to Jimmy Savile, the British broadcaster accused of molesting children. Some say associating Armstrong with Savile is unfair. They cite Armstrong's donations to charity funds for cancer patients. Armstrong was stripped of all his championship titles following a probe that showed he took drugs and had blood transfusions to enhance his performance. And at number 10, timing is everything in show business, but the director of the first movie about the commando raid that killed Osama bin Laden doubts its television premiere Sunday will swing the U.S. election. SEAL Team 6, the raid on Osama bin Laden, raised eyebrows after an announcement last month the movie would screen for the first time on the National Geographic Channel 2 days before America votes. Hollywood mogul Harvey Weinstein, a prominent fundraiser for President Barack Obama, is the distributor of the 90-minute action thriller. Stockwell shrugs off suggestions his film is an Obama propaganda tool to sway voters less than 48 hours before polls open. For the full top 10, visit Rappler.com's The Wrap. Every story on Rappler has its own mood meter, which gives you 8 emotions to choose from. Click on how you feel, and your vote will come down to Rappler's Mood Navigator on the middle of the front page, which crowdsources the mood of the day. It also places the 10 stories that have gotten the most clicks on the mood meter, puts them on the front page. If you take a look today, this was interesting. The story that's gotten the most number of clicks, a story from Pakistan. Parents killed daughter with acid. 16% sad, 81% angry. Another story that happened during the Undas, and the NTC website hacked on Undas. 36% amused, 36% annoyed, and even here, 7% angry, all contributing to the mood of the day. Today, most people are angry. Well, that's Rappler's Newscast for today, Friday, November 2, 2012. Visit Rappler.com and watch our newscast Monday to Friday. Tell us how you feel on our mood meter and help us crowdsource the mood of the day. I'm Maria Ressa. As we say at Rappler, tomorrow begins today.